Good morning and welcome to the Up the Go Morning News. Today is Thursday, October 13th.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Today's lunch is a crispy chicken sandwich.
I already go grabber classes in reading week of October 3rd to October 7th. Miss Gutierrez's class, Miss Herrera's class, Miss Huckabee's class, Miss Kinderman's class, Miss Molina's class, Miss Cruz's class, Miss Curtis's class, Miss Escobedo's class, Miss Stevens' class, Mr. DeTroll's class,
Mrs. Bowen's class, Mrs. Parrish's class, Mrs. Ray's class, Mrs. Cervantes' class, Mrs. Centron's class, Mrs. Howard's class, Mrs. Munoz class.
Lessons passed 9,349 year to date. I already go grabber classes in math week of October 3rd to October 7th. Miss Gutierrez's class, Miss Fisher's class, Miss Huckabee's class, Miss Kinderman's class, Miss Molina's class, Miss Cruz's class, Miss Curtis's class, Miss Escobedo's class, Miss Stevens' class, Miss Anderson's class, Mr. Destroll's class,
Mrs. Smallwood's class, Mrs. Bowen's class, Mrs. Hunt's class, Mrs. Parrish class, Mrs. Reyes class, Mrs. Cervantes' class, Mrs. Centron's class, Mrs. Howard's class, Mrs. Muyong's class.
Oh my gosh, I'm done. Okay, lessons passed 5,924 year to date.
Keep working on your PTO fundraiser. Please help us raise money for a book vending machine. You could win some great prizes.
This week's wow word is hypothesize. Hypothesize means to suggest an idea or theory. I hypothesize that our school will raise lots of money for PTO.
Return your after school permission slip as soon as possible. If you are planning on attending after school this year,
next week's PBIS reward is Ghost Lollipops for 10 Eagle earnings. If you don't have enough Eagle earnings, you can buy Ghost Pops in front of the office for $1 each. Next month, we will have a dance glow party for 20 Eagle earnings.
Remember to follow your equal expectations. Be responsible, be respectful, be safe, be prepared, and be present.
That's our show for today. Teachers, please do your attendance and lunch count before 9 o'clock. Bye!